Hello guys, Inslayerclone got another video for you guys. And now I'm making these videos rapidly. Recently I made about two videos within under a week and stuff, but you know, I am heading back to the grind set and heading back to what I was doing before, I guess so. And I'm outside, chilling out in this privileged park that I am in. It is a privilege, to be honest, because a lot of people take this park for granted and stuff, the living conditions of the park and the tidiness of the park. But people around the country, in the United Kingdom and all around the world as well, don't have parks like this. And it's nicely maintained, and it's very, I don't want to say traditional, or what's the term? Not traditional. It's very well maintained and it's very old, I guess. And it has a lot of history towards it in some form. Maybe not as much history as other parts in the UK, but to a point that it's definitely it's not modernized like you see what a modern park look like. With like all the like railings and stuff, anti-homeless railings and stuff like that. You know, but yeah, that's what I'm not here to talk about. So I'm just here to enjoy the park, enjoy the time and stuff. But actually, here today, I'm talking about is about ignore what everyone else does with their life. Not ignore them entirely, but don't allow these people to influence your existence. So how did I got this idea today? Well, I was talking with my mum and stuff. Me and her were not really in good terms in recent weekdays and stuff, but my mum was like talking to me. I'm going to be 27 this year and stuff, and I still acting like a child, whatever, in some form. Child, what I mean, like all that boomer stuff, because that's what boomers like to do. Sorry about that. I got interrupted. A phone call and stuff. Anyway, what else was I saying about? Yeah, I was having like an argument with my. I wouldn't say an argument per se, but I was having like it's just like this little. I guess it's a little argument and stuff. I would say, oh, this, that, and the other and stuff. But I tell you, why should I listen to anyone? I mean, they've lied already, and then they lied about the education system. They lied about. I didn't exactly say that, but it's pretty much in the terms I wanted to say and stuff because I can't. When I'm somewhat kind of triggered and stuff or chapped, whatever you call it, kind of like a bit, ticked off and stuff. I just kind of go into obscene rants and stuff. But yeah, but the whole point is that why should I listen to people now? They've lied about everything, right? The politicians lied about everything. I mean, what's this? Zach Palancy's name is the leader of the Green Party and stuff. I mean, he's talking about, instead of actually talking about what actually affecting the country, he's talking about, gender and stuff on Piers Morgan and stuff, and the reason why people are voting for the Green Party. I mean, I don't really care about like the gender stuff and like that anymore. I'm talking about what it's going to do for the average person in this country that can't turn on the house, gas, electric, heating, whatever. That's what you should be talking about, and instead of all this stuff. But anyway, guys, going back towards it, and so this is the reason why I've kind of uninstalled and disengaged with political stuff anymore. I don't think it's worth it, your time, or even not just political stuff in general. Just doesn't like social, anything social, like when people talking about um like young women's opening up an OF account stuff, like people are having a debate about that, or men's not being men's anymore and stuff, you know and all the like talking points that a lot of people debate about on the internet and on television. you know I just don't really care anymore. right? Because it's not really aligned with my vision on what I want to achieve in life, you know. Because at the end of the day and stuff, these people want you to work for them. They don't want you to work for yourself in your own mind. They want you to be in this group so you can work for them and achieve their goals and aspirations instead of your goals and aspirations. So you have to really uninstall these mindsets and uninstall all these things and stuff from your life, you know, and and that's what you have to exactly what you have to do because at the end of the day and stuff, you know, the more you get involved with this, the more you get disappointed. You know, it's just like the more you put into this, it's like gambling, right? Right. Like for example, I actually did start the gambling again. I mean, it's only a little bit. I put like £2 and I won £5. Right. Then yesterday I said, oh, maybe I can win some bit more money. At least with my money, I put like £2 in. I didn't win my £2 back. So you have to understand there's a point of everything and stuff. There's like you have to understand like life is randomized. You know, yes, hard work does work and stuff, but it's also randomized as well. You can be working hard every day and still not get anything, right? So just like Chuck Norris and stuff, there's probably millions of Chuck Norrises that failed and stuff and that didn't get to where he is today. But Chuck Norris, was successful at it and he became famous and now he's a legend now. But there was probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Chuck Norrises trying to get his position first in the 80s and the 70s and stuff, you know. So this is how I see life. I mean, life is a battle at the end of the day. It's a constant struggle. It's a war, you know, to get to that king of the hill and stuff, right? To get that number one spot, you know, and you have to tread on everyone else to get to that number one spot. Unfortunately, you know. But what can I say else? If you're not willing to get to that number one spot, well, I guess you just have to be number two position or be with the other people, and you have to be content with that. Which most majority of people in life are not content with that anyway. They're not really content with being the second place or third place. They want number one. And it's like England, right? In 2024, I think, where England almost won the World Cup, the men's team anyway. I'm not talking about the women's team, but the men's team almost won the World Cup. They came second place. Spain won the their first cup, you know. But people came there for England to win, not to become second place and stuff. So you know, and you just have to like accept it. That you have to. You came here to win and stuff. To have a celebration. Which I'm not saying you shouldn't have celebration. You came second place, but that number one spot is the reason why we do all we do to get towards it. I don't know if it's an inherent nature to get to that number one spot in life, you know. So so that's why the reason why I don't really pay attention on politics anymore or anything in particularly because it doesn't really like concern me anymore. It's not that it doesn't concern me, you know. It offers me no value anymore. People arguing over stuff on the internet. I just don't really care anymore, you know. I mean, I don't. It's not that I don't care. I do care, but I don't care, right? I rather just put that time in myself and put that time into going to the gym or doing what I like, you know, instead of waste valuable time. Of course, I still do argue a lot on stupid stuff because at the end of the day and stuff in life, you can't just be 100% logical on your journey. I guess you know I can't just logically just constantly work every day and get to where I need to get every day. You know, I wish I can, but you're gonna get very bored, you know, and like those people that are hustlers, right? Those hustle people, which I'm not saying you shouldn't hustle. You should try and hustle as much as you can, but eventually you're gonna burn out and you're gonna get fed up with hustling, you know, and working every day, right? Because at the end of the day, I mean, look at all the people that have been hustling in 2023, 2022, maybe the 2018, 19 and stuff. All those people, where are those people at now? They're still in the same position. Yeah, they might have hustled up and maybe gotten this Lamborghini and stuff, or gotten like some success, but they're now back to square one. So the hustling didn't really matter that much, that money making stuff, because the society has completely changed now. We've got AI and stuff nowadays, and now everyone's trying to be an AI journalist now. They're trying to put all their money in that and stuff, and most likely, I'm not saying it's not going to fail or not, but something else is probably going to come along, and everyone's going to invest in that. Like what, quantum computing is probably the next thing that people are going to invest in, and they're millions upon billions of dollars and stuff. And you know, and AI would just be left behind and stuff. Probably won't AI won't be left behind, because probably quantum computer would be better suited with AI and stuff, because I heard quantum computing is much more stronger processing computer code than what we have now as a computer. So I mean, like I said, the graphics market, the card market, graphics card market, RAM market, overpriced now because of this AI AI tech companies trying to invest, trying to buy up all the stocks, buy up graphics cards. Microsoft buying up all the graphics cards for their AI and stuff. You know, boiling up all the water supply and stuff like that. You know, but yeah, what can I do and stuff? What can he do? You can't really do anything. Only thing he can do is accept it and try and make try and be successful as much as possible. You know, but I guarantee you, it's not going to matter eventually. You know, there are 50-year-olds that done everything to the T and they're still poor. They still didn't win in life. You know, so all that following everything by the book was not all for nothing. You know, the true winners of society are the people that bend the rules to themselves, or not even follow the rules in general and stuff. So you know, so but yeah, I'm just kind of tired, like people like older people and stuff, my mom, whoever and stuff, really saying, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to get a degree. And so if degrees were valuable, I'm not saying degrees ain't valuable, they are, but if they're truly truly valuable, as they say now in 2026, you know everyone would have a job. Everyone, all jobs would be lined up. They would just get a job like that. But degrees are not valuable because everyone's getting a degree now, right? If everyone's getting something, it means it's lost its value, right? If everyone's playing um, Call of Duty, it means Call of Duty has lost its value now, right? It's the same thing that goes in life and stuff. If everyone's doing it, the value has dropped on doing that thing, right? Compared to like a small group of people doing that thing, you know. It's just like with the what they call it, the goth slash emo industry, right? You know, before and on the I don't know, I was not really around in the 90s, 80s and stuff. But back then and stuff, no one saw these people as like they saw this as a strange culture and stuff, and it was an underground culture and stuff. So that's the reason why it was. That's the reason why I had more memories and it was more profitable. In like the 80s, 90s, 2000s and stuff, But now, well, I would say maybe not the 2000s, but definitely like the 80s and the early 90s and stuff, 70s and stuff. But now, since it became popular like in 2000s, because you listen to music in like the 2000s, like the Paramore music and all these other musicians, My Chemical Romance and stuff. You know, emos became popular and stuff like that, and it kind of lost its value in the process. You know, the same thing with video games, the same thing with like anime, comic books. I mean, maybe not comic books. Comic books is still an underground industry, to be honest. But you know what I mean. You know, anything that becomes popular loses its valuable. So reading and stuff, that's how you have to go with life. So really, if you really truly want to be successful, you have to be really the first adopters of this type of culture, whatever it is. You know, to truly gain success in that realm. You know, it was truly never about how good you are, or yeah, it is good. It truly is about how good you are as well. If you're truly good at that thing, you're probably going to be the most successful out of that person. But if you're an early adopter of that thing, you know, you're still going to get success either way if you're not extremely bad or extremely good. Just like, the celebrity, the YouTube boxing, right? I mean, I think around 2016, 2017, 2018, that's when it became like popular to do this like celebrity YouTube boxing thing. Before like that company, I don't even know what the company, the one KSI, I don't even know if it's KSI owns the company, but you know, it's like the boxing thing. I mean, this Joe Weller, I think his name is, versus KSI. They did the first boxing match, and this is how, and it went from there. It went downhill from there, and they went downhill spiral from there, and everyone started boxing each other's in a boxing match. YouTube boxing, Twitch boxing, over fans boxing and stuff. You know, it just went downhill from there and stuff, and it became a popular thing to do. You know, but KSI and that Joe Weller guy, they started it first for charity and stuff. So no one probably knows who Joe Weller is anymore. He's probably and just a nameless YouTuber, just a nameless 1 million channel YouTuber now, or Kick, or TikToker now in 2026. You know. But anyway, guys, I think I said what I need to say and stuff. And but the main purpose I want you to guys understand that you know don't let people dictate your life. If you truly, 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 truly believe in this something, even if it might be good or evil and stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to say you should do evil things, of course. I'm saying, it's all up to you at the end of the day. If you really truly want that thing, well, go and get it. If it's evil and stuff. If it's truly good, go and get it and stuff. You just have to have your own mind and have your own brain power and own truly belief system, you know, and stuff, which people lack today because they've been ordered around like a dog, you know. I'm just trying to say to you that's watching this video to have your own mindset nowadays. Don't follow the crowd anymore. Don't follow anyone but yourself, you know. And it's easy said than done, of course. I'm not saying it isn't, you know. People say going to the gym is easy, but it isn't easy, right? Some people have a problem going to the gym. It's not because they can't go to the gym, they can, but it's like getting the routine down. I mean, I'm still struggling going to the gym every week, you know, trying to maintain a routine. But I've done it last year with Duolingo and stuff. I've been learning German every day and stuff, so I've got that routine down. It's just that I need to get this new routine down. Once I get this new routine, then I'm gonna master the gym. That's pretty how it is. That's how life is and stuff. You know, it's all about pulling up every day as much as you can. Right? There's some days you're gonna feel like stuff. If you only can do 30 minutes in that day, well, do 30 minutes. You can do more than 30 minutes. Do more than 30 minutes. Right? But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about it and subscribe.